It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz program here in the Prince George's Schools, where we test science IQs. Test your own and play along with us today. Let's meet today's teams. First, from Northview Elementary School, would you please say hello to Eric Harris Beckham, Caitlin Shaw, and Leah Solomon. And from Woodridge Elementary School, here they are, Carolina Martinez, Karina Aravalo, and Shabria Robbins. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, one of these 2 talented, good-looking teams will go on and play, possibly getting a spot in this year's semifinals. Let's make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team, and Caitlin, would you try your buzzer? Thank you. Good luck to you, to Leah, and to Eric, and to your little bot there, too. And over to Woodridge. Carolina, would you try yours? Thank you. Good luck to you, and to Shabria, and to Karina. Congratulations on being selected to represent your schools. Nobody loses here. You're going to do a great job today. We're going to have a good game, aren't we? Absolutely. We go alphabetically N before W, so Northview. Let's play the bowl. Caitlin.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points to start the game. Teams, we know that mammals all have hair or fur, and they're all warm-blooded, and they mostly give birth to live young. And all mammals lactate, which means they do this. Northview.
Give milk.
They absolutely produce milk. Absolutely. Thank you, Leah, for your assist on that. Go, Caitlin.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Scientists now think that phytoplankton, those little plants that live in the ocean, absorb as much of this gas. Yes, Carolina?
Oxygen?
Not oxygen, no. Northview. Phytoplankton, according to some scientists, the phytoplankton, those little plants in the ocean, absorb as much of this gas as do tropical rainforests.
Carbon dioxide?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. They're using that for making food. Yeah, Caroline, you're on the right track there. Just slow it down and remember, check with your teammates there. Carolina, go, or Caitlin, go.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points is a multiple choice question. You know, there are some animals like bees and bats that aren't completely cold-blooded or completely warm-blooded because they can change their temperature occasionally. So would you call them, listen to these big words, if you can change your temperature, endothermic animals, exothermic animals, or heterothermic animals? Woodridge. Exo, endo, or hetero?
Hetero?
Hetero, absolutely, meaning different. They can do one or the other. Nice guess. Good. Go.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Another multiple choice question. Let's see if you've been paying attention to the news. Recently in Paris, they had a climate summit, and they are trying to keep all the world's nations, the temperature of the world, from going above 2 degrees Celsius. They don't want it to go more than 2 degrees. Is 2 degrees Celsius equal to 1 degree Fahrenheit, 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or 5.8 degrees Fahrenheit? 1, 3.6, or 5.8 Woodridge?
5.8?
No, not 5.8. Northview, you got a chance here. 1, 3.6, or 5.8, the equivalency on the Fahrenheit scale to 2 degrees Celsius.
Can you repeat the options?
I can indeed. 1, 3.6, or 5.8.
3.6.
Yes, ma'am. Nicely done. Good. Go.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, if plants have flowers that are inconspicuous, it tells you that they are pollinated how or by whom? Woodridge.
Win.
Win. Nicely done. Inconspicuous means you can't see them, so they're not out to attract pollinators like bees or bats or hummingbirds. Well done. All right, our score, dead heat. 90 Woodridge, 90 Northview, advantage green. Carolina.
Super-Aid for 10.
Zuparade for 10 points. Teams, other than white rats and mice, these unfortunate rodents are synonymous with experimentation. Can you tell me the name of that rodent, Northview?
Hamsters.
Not a hamster. That's a good try. Not a hamster. What rodent is synonymous with experimentation? A very unfortunate rodent, like white mice and rats are.
Guinea pig.
That's it, yeah. And sometimes people say you're a human guinea pig if you offer to take part in an experiment, and Shabria is shaking her head. She knew that one. Go, green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points, teams. If you're really scared, like some of you might be on Science Bowl, your muscles tense, your pupils widen, and the hair stands up on the back of your what? Northview.
Neck.
Your neck, that's right. None of you look scared at all, and I'm glad of that. Go, red. Good answer. Yes, ma'am.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, the actor Will Smith is starring in a movie as a forensic pathologist, and he is studying these kinds of injuries that football players sustain, whether they are in high school or in the pros. What injury are they sustaining, Carolina?
Athlete's foot.
Not athlete's foot. I know they come down with those as well. Northview, he's a forensic pathologist. What condition do these football players develop as a result of head contact?
Concussion.
Yeah, concussion. That is the name of the movie, too. Well done. Go, red.
Zuparade for 25.
Zuparade for 25. The big one in that category is a visual question. Would you look at the monitor in the studio, please? Nice looking snail. Look at his shell. The design on that shell has what same H-initialed name as the design, when it's doubled, of the DNA molecule. Northview for 25 points. Can you tell me that H-initialed design term?
Horizontal.
Not horizontal. That's a good try. Woodridge, you've had a chance to mull that one over. Tough question. Same design on that shell as you find if it is doubled on the DNA molecule. Tough one. The double helix. The double helix. Those two strands that are intertwined. No points. The buzzer says our first round is over. Let's check that score. Right now, Northview 110, Woodridge 100. We'll be back with the second round in just a moment. Don't you go away.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it. It always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important. Anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today. Here we are in our 30th year, and our contestants keep getting better and better. Let's go over and meet our 6 players. They're doing a phenomenal job so far. Let's go first to Northview, a school over there in Bowie, Maryland, just a couple years old. And who's your principal over there, Caitlin?
Mr. Simmons,
He's out there rooting for you today. And I know you have 2 sponsors here today, don't you? Who are they?
Miss Grove, and Mr. Moffett.
Right. And Elizabeth and Bruce, thank you for all that you've done over the years and for sending us always great students and always dressed in their lab coats. You look like scientists. Tell me, did you have an alternate on your team, Caitlin?
Yes.
Who's that?
Sydney B.A.
And she'll be out in just a few moments, and she was the maker of the little bot there that's on the set of your good luck charm. And I always like to ask the schools what they like best. What do you like best about Northview? What do you brag about?
Well, Northview, they're always making sure that you're having fun while learning to encourage students to learn more.
Because if it's not fun, you're not going to learn. You know, and you want to feel that what you're learning is important, but also that you know, your teacher wants to make it as easy to take in as possible. That's a nice thing to say. What do you want to do someday, Caitlin?
I want to be a marine biologist.
How'd you get interested in that?
Well, I love the ocean and animals in it, and if I'm a marine biologist, I'll always be by the water.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like a vacation every day.
And that's the trick in life. It has someone pay you for something you would do just because you love it. Boy, that's a great idea. You're doing a nice job as captain. Keep it up. Leah, tell us about your story.
I want to be an architect when I grow up.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, and you really like the Eiffel Tower, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was put up as an exposition. They were actually going to take it down, but they left it up there because they used it for radio signals. You know, it made for a good tower. You must be a good math student as well, because you've got to have that as a designer. Why'd you want to be on this show?
Because I really like science, and I think this could help me learn a lot more things that I need to know for science.
Absolutely, and you're teaching us some things too because of all you're bringing to the show. You're doing a nice job. And Eric, nice to see you here today. Tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I really like to play video games.
Yeah, and you told me you want to be a video game designer someday?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one of the hot careers right now because so many people like to play those games. What else do you do?
Well, I like to play with my little brothers a lot.
Yeah, brothers, plural?
Mm-hmm.
How many do you have?
2.
2? So you're the oldest?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking up to you. You've got to be a good role model here today. You look the part. You're doing a nice job, Eric. You're welcome. Woodridge, nice to have you guys here today. Carolina, tell us about Woodridge. Where is it?
It's near, it's actually in Glenwood.
Yeah, Glenridge. Isn't Glenridge close by? Yeah, 2 elementary schools kind of within spitting distance of each other. I know it's a big school too, and it's inside the Beltway, not too far from the plaza down there, the shopping plaza. And Carolina, who's your principal?
Miss Harris.
Wonderful. And I know she's out there rooting for you. And your sponsor, Miss Sabri, boy, is she something. She comes in and helps us judge the Science Bowl, and I know she's prepared you well. She takes this very seriously, as we do her. Tell me about Woodridge. Brag about it. What do you like about it?
The teachers, since they always care about you. If you have struggle with something such as math, they will take the time. Like if you need help, like during lunch, they will make sure you go upstairs and they will help you with that subject.
Wow. And you know that they really care about you. If they're doing that, they're going out of the way, giving up their time. Boy, you're lucky to have teachers like that. And you guys, the teachers are lucky to have students like you. Tell me what you want to do someday, Carolina.
I want to be a forensic scientist.
Yeah, we were talking about the CSI shows, right? There's a lot of science involved in that, all the STEM subjects. And before I leave you, Carolina, who's the alternate on your team?
Deanna Lancaster.
Wonderful. We'll bring out the alternates and our sponsors at the end of the program here. Shabria, nice to have you with us today. You want to be a teacher, right?
Yes.
Boy, we don't hear too many young people want to be teachers, and those of us that were teachers, we are very happy that you're going to kind of take over for us someday. Who's your favorite teacher, can I ask you?
Right now,
Other than Miss Sabri.
Mr. Lassner, my math teacher.
That's wonderful, and I hope you tell him that too, because that means a lot to teachers. How'd you get interested in teaching?
Well, I've always liked helping people learn, and if they're like struggling with something, find a different way to help.
Yeah, you have to have a good heart, and you have to empathize, and something tells me you can do that. Good to have you here. Karina, what do you do in your spare time?
I play football and soccer with my friends, and I also bake.
Wow, so you're a scholar, you're an athlete, and you're a baker. And what do you like to bake?
I like to bake cookies and cakes. I actually made a cheesecake before.
Wow, and you didn't bring any for us today, did you?
No, not
Darn,
today.
you know? And I know Leah on the other team also is a baker too, so you got a lot of talent on the show here today. All right, let's get back to our game. You're doing a great job. Our last correct answer came to the red team, 110 to 100. Lots of points to give away. Caitlin, start us out.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Teams, there's a new book out called Thing Explainer where the author uses just 1,000 words to explain all these big scientific concepts. And he says that the big flat rocks that we live on sound like dinnerware because they're called tectonic these. Caitlin?
Plates.
Yeah, the tectonic plates, the ones that moved around in continental drift. Good answer. Go red.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, Apple calls its smartphones by number, iPhone 4, 5, and 6. Samsung calls its smartphones after these big clouds of dust in the universe like, yes, Caitlin?
Galaxy.
Galaxies, I was going to say, like our Milky Way. Thanks, Leah. You're hot over there. Go red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, the new movie The Lost Dinosaur notwithstanding, an asteroid did hit Earth billions of years ago, an asteroid that came from an asteroid belt between what two planets? Woodridge.
Saturn and Jupiter?
Good try, good try. The asteroid belt is found between what two planets? The source of the asteroid that collided with Earth?
Mercury and Venus.
Good try. Mars and Jupiter was the right pairing there. No points go again. Red.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Team, scientists are all excited because they have found a new method of growing hepatocytes in the lab. Hepatocytes are cells that naturally form in what largest... Yes, Woodridge.
Brain?
Again?
Brain?
Not the brain. This largest internal organ is where you naturally find hepatocytes that now scientists have been able to grow successfully in the lab. What is this largest internal organ, Caitlin?
Intestines.
Ooh, good try. The liver. The liver. Hepato is a prefix that means liver. We always hope you study prefixes and suffixes before you come here. Go red. Still have a 30-point lead. Caitlin?
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if you have stones in your kidney or stones in your gallbladder, that is not a good thing. But if you have a tiny little stone called an otolith in the utricle of this sense organ, it will help you keep your balance. Woodridge?
Ear.
Ear. Good. You followed everything I said. Nicely done. Green.
Can I get, let's get physical for 20?
Let's get physical for 20 points. You certainly may. It is a visual question. Would you look at the monitor, please, in the studio? This thermometer contains alcohol or mercury, and of course, you know, it rises inside that glass tube. The reason why it can rise and not have to worry about air pressure pushing it down is because it is an empty space. It is devoid of matter. What V initial term describes a space where there is no matter, Northview?
Vertex.
Not vertex, good try. A space where there is nothing inside. It is devoid of matter. What V initial term describes that?
Vacancy?
Oh, I like that term. Vacuum, vacuum. All right, good try, both teams. No points. 130, 110. Advantage still North. You go red.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline science for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Just the other day, NASA provided the close-up pictures, the best ever, of this former planet, Woodridge.
Pluto.
Pluto, yeah, the New Horizons spacecraft. Took them 9 months to get there, and now those pictures are first coming back. Well done. Go green.
Green things for 10?
Green things for?
10.
10 points. Teams, it would be very hard to tell if a plant is envious because this green substance naturally flows through its veins, if you will, Northview.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, absolutely right. Green with envy, who knows with a plant. All right, 140, 120. Northview, go.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25, big one in that category. Teams, I think you're going to know this one. Listen carefully to all these clues. Lots of points available. The process of changing long dead plants into coal has the exact same name, Karina, as the process of changing a caterpillar into a butterfly. For 25 points, what is that process? Woodridge.
Metamorphosis?
You got it. Nicely done. Metamorphosis. And that puts you into the lead by 5 points. Go Woodridge. Yes, ma'am.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, if you're putting on a play and you need smoke, the fire marshal says, you can't use smoke, but you can use this frozen form. Northview. What you want to tell me?
Dry ice.
You got that right. Frozen carbon dioxide. Nice answer, Caitlin. Go. Thanks, Leah.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri for 10 points. Teams, we heard recently that the sea level close to Washington has risen over the past few years 3.2 mm's. What is, Carolina?
Millimeters.
Millimeters, absolutely right. We don't have to start building an ark yet, but maybe in the near future. Go green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Maybe his teeth are made of wood because the song says he's got these bugs in his Northview.
Termites.
Termites in his smile. Absolutely right. Well done. Nice to see you guys smile. Go red.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, this movie sounds like it's about the salty legumes that we like to snack on, but it's actually about Charlie Brown and his gang. Carolina? Yes, ma'am. Oh, we thought this one was an easy one.
The big pumpkin?
Nope. Northview? Peanuts, absolutely right. The salty legumes. All right, good comeback. 155, 155. We've got a tie. Red, let's go.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. Seems multiple choice question. If you sign up for an experiment, they're testing a new drug, and you're in the control group, and they give you a fake drug that has no effect, and you feel good even though it didn't do anything, have you taken a perceived drug, a double-blind drug, or a placebo drug? Which of those three are you taking because you're in the control group, Northview?
Perceived drug.
Not the perceived drug, no, the perceived, the double-blind, or the placebo. That's when you get a sugar pill that doesn't have any kind of medication, and you're in the control group, and really it has no effect except psychological. Carolina?
Placebo?
Placebo, that's it. Yep, go. Green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, some people call it the Frankenfish, the genetically modified fish that now the U.S. government says we can eat very soon. What fish is that? Yes, Carolina?
The catfish?
Not the catfish. What is this fish, this so-called Frankenfish that has been genetically modified? It's been in the news that we will soon be able to eat. The government says so. Give me a fish. What you got?
Bony fish.
Salmon. Salmon. Genetically modified salmon. No points. Still tied. No. 175, 155. Go Woodridge.
Body systems for 25.
Body system 25. Big one in that category. Teams. The Adam's apple is a bony cartilage wrapped around this L-initialed part of your body, otherwise known... Caitlin?
Liver.
Not liver, good try. The Adam's apple, a bony cartilage cage wrapped around this L-initialed body part, otherwise known as the voice box. Another name for the voice box. Get you 25 points. It's the larynx. It's the larynx. Go again, green. 5 questions left.
Let's get physical.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, listen carefully. What same word means insoluble materials in a solution that settle to the bottom of the glass and forms of water like snow and sleet? Northview.
Precipitation.
Yes, ma'am. Nicely done. Precipitation it is. Go red. Eric, I like seeing you smile for the first time. Go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, some chickens on farms where they are made to lay too many eggs too quickly suffer from a loss of calcium in their bones, and they get what kind of O-initial condition that some human women get when they get older? Carolina. All right, what do you want to tell me?
Arthritis.
Good try, not arthritis. All right, weakened bones because of depleted amounts of calcium, because these chickens are laying so many eggs. What is that O-initial disease? It's called osteoporosis. Whoa, the buzzer has rung. We've run out of time. We're going to double check that score. It's been a close game. We'll be back and announce that winner in just a moment. Don't you go away.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. Boy, it doesn't get any closer than this on our game by just 5 points. Nobody really loses on this game, especially after the performance we had from these 6 young people today. Our final tally is Woodridge 175, Northview 180. The white-coated scientists, you guys have done it. Eric and Caitlin and Leah and Sydney, she's very happy back there. And the little bot, I think I saw it move too. Mr. Simmons, the principal, thank you for being here today. And our 2 great sponsors, Bruce Moffett and Elizabeth Grove, thank you. We'll see you in the next game. Give us your best smiles over there, girls. Sabria, she's not feeling so good right now. She's upset, as she should be, because she cared so much. She played a great game. Sabria and Diana and Carolina, great captain. Karina and Joan. Miss Sabria, you are just the best. Thank you for sending us such a great team, and thank you for being here. We'll see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.